What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your boy AT2 here. Now, I want to say this. This has to be one of the strangest hills to die on. And I'm talking about Candace Owens because she's saying that the wife of the French prime minister, his wife is trans. Mind you, this woman has had 3 babies, but Candace Owens is dying on this hill, and now it got her a lawsuit. Let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Talk the Real Deal with AT2. And yes, I'm your boy AT2. How everybody doing? How everybody living? How everybody feeling today? Let me say what's up to the people before we get into it. What's up, Bama Girl? What's up, Joy? I love seeing my members here. What's up? Hello, it's me. What receipts does she have? What's up, Just a Girl? What's up? Is it Shaman or she? Is it Shiamin? I don't want to say it wrong. Please tell me phonetically how to say it. What's up, Pure T? What's up, Shawnee? What's up, Shaqueen? Who else we got here? Demetria up in the building. What's up, Darius? Who else? We got Sun. Hello, everybody. Nice to see all of y'all there. All of y'all not there. Here. Yeah. So I had heard about this a long time ago. I knew Candace was doing a whole series. So the part 1, I see that has over 5 million views on just part 1. Now part 2, part 3, yeah. And here's the thing with this whole she's a man. Even if she is a man, like, why do you care? Like, this isn't even like an American thing. This is so weird that she's picking on the French prime minister and his wife. Like, it's weird because, to tell you the truth, there's actually like a real story behind there, because her husband, Emmanuel, was 15 when they first met. He went to school with her youngest daughter. And it's all like, that's the real story right there. This whole she's a man thing, I'm like, what? She's a man. And look, I don't think the lady looks like a man. Like, I've seen stronger faces. Do y'all think Brigitte Macron, does she look like a man? Yes or no? Right, just a girl. The tea was already there. She's 72 years old. Like, what do you expect her to look like? And by the way, that photo that Candace is claiming is Macron. It's actually her brother. That's not a picture of her as a girl. Well, as a kid, I mean. That's her brother. She's just not cute. Right. Oh, you think her face is hard. Okay. For 72 years old, she look good, y'all. Y'all don't think she look good? It's not the softest of faces, but I don't think it looks that hard. I think, yeah. But anyway, they in France. Like, I don't give a damn what they doing. Like, that's the part I'm confused about. Joan Rivers and Wendy Williams look like men. Ooh, damn. It's pronounced Sheeman. Okay, Sheeman. Okay, got it. Thank you for letting me know how to say it correctly. She has aged, but not so bad. Yeah, I don't feel like this looks like a bad looking woman. Now, the wig, does the wig look bad? Yeah. But Candace also wears a wig, so who cares? You know, the wig is wigging. But other than that, y'all, that looked like a woman to me. Like, you know, she may not be a lady, but she a woman. So a couple of days ago, they finally hit her with that lawsuit because for defamation, because they're like, okay, this girl is going on and on and on. Mind you, they actually tried to talk to her and try to get her to realize, like, hey, you know, I know you want to do this little internet stuff and do all this shit, but no, she's a woman. She's had children, you know, but Candace doesn't want to hear that at all. I think she's thinking like, I'm gonna have my moment, like, oh wow, dignitaries in other countries are suing me. Like, she wants to spin it that way. And it's like, I don't know if this is like, do y'all feel like this is a win for Candace? Candace is trying to, Candace is trying to stay relevant since being dropped from her right-wing podcast buddies. Yeah. Like, I feel like this isn't the win like she think it's going to be. She's going to end up like Alex Jones, the InfoWars dude. That's what she's going to end up like. Where remember he lied about the Sandy Hook. He said it was a hoax, right? And again, Candace Owens, Alex Jones, those kind of people, they go based off of what they hear on the internet. They kind of take the conspiracies and run with them because they have the larger voices. And honestly, to tell you the truth, at the end of the day, I believe that Candace doesn't have any conviction in what she says. I think it's honestly she just goes by a whim. You know, she realized that it's more profitable to, you know, be a right winger and push all conspiracy theories and stuff like that. She knows that it's popular and it makes her a lot of money. I was having a conversation. I'm not going to say with who. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Please go ahead and hit that like button. But they're all like, yeah, I want to, you know, be more liberal and stuff like that on my show. And I was kind of like, well, liberalism doesn't pay. Like, I can't think of a liberal podcast or a liberal, you know, left-leaning channel that's really like as big as a right wing. You know, I can name a whole bunch of those, like the Joe Rogans and all that. Candace Owens, the Daily Wire, even though they kind of fell, but you know, you can name a whole bunch. The only left leaning I can think of is not TYT anymore. Roland Martin, Don Lemon, that Pod Save America. That's some white people shit. I don't watch that, but I guess they would be like a big they would be like a big kind of like it just, yeah, they look like elitists. Like they look like the people we should be going after. Like they don't have a grasp of what America is really going through. That's why I don't watch that Pod Save America, but they're left leaning, I guess, too. But yeah, being a liberal, you stay broke. You don't make any money. Nobody wants to hear about healthcare for all, housing for all. Let's put our home, you know, let's clean up our homelessness and put them in the homes, affordable housing, minimum, you know, better wages, not just minimum wage, livable wage. That shit don't sound sexy. But if I get on here and get them trans out the goddamn bathroom, get them immigrants taking all our jobs. They taking our jobs. We tired of that DEI. You need to pick yourself up by the bootstraps. You know, that sounds sexy. That sounds sexy to people. It's true. It sounds sexy. People love that. Pick yourself up by the bootstraps. Stop trying to get government assistance. That sounds better than, yeah, let's have free healthcare, free like nobody can like, oh, okay, yeah. Or it's gonna be like, well, how do we do that? How do we afford that? It's gonna have pushback. So yeah, you can't make any money. Like that's why, like when I do the political stuff, like I believe in what I'm saying. I could get on here and sell you some stuff that I don't, but I actually do believe in what I'm saying. This is why I'm broke. But But anyway, y'all get it. But let's go ahead and check out the CNN clip. I know they won't strike me. I heard that Candace Owens be striking people, so I'm gonna play this through CNN.
Conspiracy theorist Candace Owens.
Oh, and fuck Jake Tapper.
The defamation lawsuit filed today in Delaware claims that Owens has engaged in a, quote, relentless and unjustified smear campaign against the couple. The complaint goes on to allege that Owens spread outrageous conspiracy theories. France's first.
Are you black? No disrespect to black people. Only I can do that because this is my show. I don't even know if you black. That don't look like a real person to me. That looks like an avatar. I'm not gonna block you, but be cautious of what you be saying.
That France's first lady could be a man, that the Macrons are related in committing incest, and that the Macrons, the couple, is being controlled by the CIA. Obviously, those are deranged claims. In response to the filing, Owens posted a screenshot of a news story about the lawsuit on her Instagram page. And wrote, "I will be coming for this wig today. Stay tuned." Owens has, of course, a history of all sorts of deranged conspiracy theories and vile anti-Semitic rhetoric. She was temporarily suspended from YouTube for anti-LGBT comments. Joining us now to discuss is Tom Clare, the lawyer for the Macrons, Emmanuel and Brigitte. And we should note that if people recognize you, they might remember you from the Dominion case, suing Fox News for defamation, which resulted in a $787.5 million settlement from Fox, but who's counting? So the lawsuit claims that this has been a year-long campaign by Candace Owens. Why are the Macrons suing now? Like, what changed? Why sue now?
Well, this was really a last resort. We have attempted to engage with her for the last year, putting evidence in front of her, request after request after request, that she just simply do the right thing. This is not a legal thing. Do the right thing, tell the truth, stop spreading these lies. And each time we've done that, she mocked the Macrons. She mocked our efforts to set the record straight. She refused to retract what she had said. She started a merch campaign. She's selling T-shirts mocking and celebrating her defamation of them.
So I want to talk about this because I know a lot of people are going to say it's freedom of speech. You should be able to say whatever you want to. Now, here's the thing. She's profiting off of a lie. That's where the issue comes into play. Excuse me. And so because she's profiting off of a lie, like, yeah, they're going to hit you with defamation. And you got to think about it, too. Candace is doubling down. She's saying, I'm going to see you at court. All that cocky shit. Remember the last person who was cocky? Tasha K was cocky in court. And look what happened. Yeah, you might want to think twice about being cocky like that.
And enough is enough. It was time to hold her accountable for this campaign.
So your lawsuit alleges, quote, every time.
Oh, and by the way, thank you, Joy, for reminding me. This is the lawyer who sued Fox for the whole Dominion when they said the election was rigged, that thing, and they sued him for $735 billion. Yeah, this is who, or was it million or billion? I think million. I'm sorry, not billion. My apologies. But yeah, this is who that is right there. So they got the best of the best. All right, let's continue.
When the Macrons leave their home, they do so knowing that countless people have heard and many believe these vile fabrications. It is invasive, dehumanizing, and deeply unjust. Some people out there might think, really, the first couple of France can't leave their home in France without worrying that people believe the deranged nonsense from this American podcaster?
Yeah, what people don't really understand, and a lot of people can go on TV and talk about the president, talk about the first lady, pundits can get on and talk about them, but what people forget is these are human beings. These are a married couple. They have a social life, they have a private life together, they have the same feelings and the same hurt from these sorts of defamatory statements as anybody would. And it does have a material impact on them. It is, it's incredibly upsetting to have this said year after year. And this sort of falsehood.
Now, what they need to do is make sure that she had sought therapy and go to the doctor and say, I've been so stressed out because of all the rumors that Candace done started about me. That way she can try to get some money. Because you don't want to say, oh, I don't really care about what she's saying. You got to prove like this has been emotional distress for you and all that stuff.
Is a cancer. And it metastasizes into obviously the media, but it also metastasizes into other circles that they're running in. They get asked about it, of course, even in the circles that they run in. They get asked about these campaigns, and they shouldn't have to go through that.
It's pretty horrible. She also engages in Holocaust denial and all sorts of anti-Semitism. She just posted a video reacting to the lawsuit. She calls it a, quote, obvious and desperate public relations strategy. What's your response?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank her for that reaction to the lawsuit. She's only helping us with our claim for punitive damages by expressing no remorse and obviously doubling down on these falsehoods.
So Francine, this is where you're wrong. They already offered Candace proof that she was a woman, but she's telling you guys like she hasn't received anything or she doesn't believe it. I guess she want to see her pussy. That's the only thing I can think of. You want to see the lady pussy, then be my guest.
But I don't think she's going to feel the same way about this being a public relations stunt after her deposition and after she has to sit for trial.
So you're alleging that Candace Owens made these allegations despite knowing that they were false. I don't know that she knows they're false. I mean, she says a lot of crazy, just completely insane, hateful stuff about Jews, about the Holocaust, I don't know what she knows to be true or not. She says a lot of lies. How do you know that she's lying as opposed to a deeply disturbed individual? Well, it could be both, of course.
It's one of the reasons why our complaint is 219 pages long. We wanted to lay out exactly that. We wanted to explain to the court and we wanted to explain to the people that will see our lawsuit how we can prove that she knows it's false. We allege that there's evidence that she knew it was false when she started this campaign over a year ago. She started relying on things she knew was discredited. But then over the past year, when we have put this information directly in front of her, even if you want to give her a pass for the early crazy stuff that she said, after we put facts and information in front of her, black and white, multiple times.
What? Like the first lady's birth certificate? Like what kind of facts?
Yeah, we have laid out extensive evidence in our complaint demonstrating.
Right, and that was just recent when she slapped him, and that's the other thing too. Like, there's so much that you can like. I don't follow the French prime minister. I don't follow them, so I don't care. But there's so much that you can use, like the whole thing about him being 15 and she was 39, and then him getting slapped in the face on camera. Like, I would go with that. Like, why are you going with the whole she a man, she a man, she a man? And like I said, she don't even have the hardest face out there. I would see, like, if her face was like hella strong, I'd be like, it might be, I don't know. But I mean, even with that, like, there's some people like who will just own in on something, and I'm all like, why are you going that hard for something like that doesn't even matter? And sometimes when your fan base, they like a certain thing and you have to keep providing it and giving it to them. And so you have to stand strong on it, because the thing is, if I don't think I've ever heard Candace Owens take something back or apologize for something. I think she just kind of moves on like nothing happened, right? And so with this, she would have to admit she was wrong or she lied or made up something. So that's why she's staying strong in this. And at the end of the day, don't forget, she has a rich husband, even though, y'all, I think we'll get into that a little later. Let me finish this.
That she was born a woman. She's always been a woman. And the allegations of CIA control conspiracy and the incest and all the other things are demonstrably false. Putting aside the fact that they're all inherently implausible, what you said at the outset is obviously really important. In our system, if you're making an inherently implausible allegation, the standard is higher. You have to come forward with better evidence if you're going to say it. She has none of it. All she's done is mock them and ridiculed them and repeated it.
There are a bunch of these hate mongers out there that have been saying the same thing about Michelle Obama, the former First Lady of the United States. Do you think she should sue?
Well, I haven't looked at her claim, but I believe that everybody has a right to their reputation. And I think our Constitution makes that very clear. Defamation is not protected by the First Amendment. And if it's impacting Michelle Obama or anybody else, they have a right to access our court system and have a trial. In our system,
no, Ariel, that's the whole point.
We do it in court, we do it with rules, we do it with legal standards, and it's a place where evidence matters. And that's why we've taken Candace to...
Okay, so we can go ahead and end this. He pretty much just continues on, and then Jake Tapper asks repetitive, stupid-ass questions that we don't care about. So anyway, like I was saying, this is a weird hill to die on. Like, honestly don't care what Macron is and what she's not. Like, that to me isn't even the story. When clearly the story was that this boy probably was groomed because he was 15 at the time, classmates with her daughter. Like, that's where the story is. Her being a man or not. Like, honestly, it doesn't matter. Like, if Emmanuel Macron want a little dick, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. And it's all like, why do you give a fuck so much? Like, it's weird. It's like, there's so many other things, right? So many other things you can focus on besides that. But like, that's your main point about her possibly being a man. But here's the funny part, because with Candace, there's this viral TikTok that went spinning because a lot of people were upset with Candace. She's been speaking out against Israel and stuff like that. And they was calling her trans as well. So it's just funny how it just literally goes in a circle. And I actually have the TikTok too that talks about this. Here we go, you guys.
It's crazy how Candace Owens fan base is now attacking her the way she has attacked other people. Calling her trans the same way she tried to attack Michelle Obama. Chef's kiss. And now the lepers are on the way and we can only sit back and enjoy the show. But it does make sense, the need for acceptance. It does make sense. Now, it makes sense. The need to constantly have to pander to a group of people makes a whole lot of sense. I can honestly see what happened. I can see what happened. But that's what happens when you make your entire career about loving a group of people who make it extremely clear that they dislike you or anybody that looks like you. But I'm sure she will find a way to try to spin it around and tap dance for the masses. Because the same energy you're getting is the same energy you've been putting out there.
Exactly. Now look at you, because that picture, you didn't look so soft. You didn't look so feminine. That picture, you look kind of rough. So now can people go around saying you a man? And we know you're not, because you had children. And I think she just recently had a baby too. What's up, Bonquisha? She looked like a boy. Yeah. Looked like a little nigga. That looked like the Jackson 5. I thought I had the picture. Hold on. I thought I had like a solo. Dang, I don't think I got a solo. Let me just run it back real quick so you guys can see it again. Hold on. Let me just run it back. I thought I had a picture, you guys. I guess I don't. I just have the video.
It's crazy how Candace Owens fan base is now attacking her the way she has attacked
That's
other
looking
people.
like a boy. Look at that.
Calling her trans.
Candace Owens in that picture looked like, oh, baby, give me one more chance. Show you that I love you. Won't you? That looked like the motherfucking Michael Jackson when he was black. ABC, easy as 1, 2, 3. That's what she looked like. Yo! Why was she bald-headed like that? Why was she bald-headed like that? And you got the nerve to talk about somebody else? Come on now. Come on, Candace. Come on now. Got the nerve to be acting a damn fool trying to call that lady away. Like, listen, you better make sure that, you looking feminine if you're going to call somebody else out. Like, you can't be on here looking like Michael Jackson from the Jackson 5. I don't know if he was Michael, Tito, not Jermaine. She don't look like Jermaine. Tito, Marlon, I don't know which one she looked like. But she definitely looked like she was part of the Jackson. It definitely looked like ABC, 1, 2, 3, baby, you and me, girl. That's what she looked like. She could do all the dance moves and shit. Like, she looked like she needed a motherfucking guitar in her hand singing ABC. That's what she looked like. Yo! And you worried about Macron. Come on now. Come on. Like, y'all just And by the way, I know Candace is a woman, but I'm just saying, like, you just can't be talking shit when you look the way you look. Or they could go back to your throwback pictures and be all like, "Oh, look at this," you know. Damn, they couldn't slap a old dusty church wig on her. Shit. But speaking of like marriages, I think Candace needs to focus on her own, because remember when she got fired from the Daily Wire because they said she was anti-Semitic, which I don't believe that she was anti-Semitic. It's just that, you know, they don't like you saying anything about Israel, even though they got the people in Gaza starving right now. But anyway, so with that being said, her husband didn't come out and defend her or anything like that. Her husband didn't say anything. And it's like, where is her husband? I don't know if you guys know, but these people got married within, not married, they were engaged within 2 weeks. It was love at first sight and all this other shit. So I want to go ahead and show you guys this video real quick that kind of talks about their relationship, because I just find their whole relationship it's given they only have sex to reproduce. That's what it's given, you know. Hold on, here we go.
Political commentator Candace Owens seems to be always on the attack. From hurling insults at Democrats to sharing anti-vax rhetoric to inciting unlikely Twitter feuds with Cardi B, Owens continues to occupy the spotlight as a controversial conservative media figure. One of Owens' more memorable meltdowns was aimed at singer Harry Styles following his appearance on the cover of Vogue's December 2020 issue. Owens was apparently outraged that Styles bent gender norms by wearing a gown for the photo shoot, tweeting, "There is no society that can survive without strong men. It is an outright attack."
This was not an attack on Harry Styles. He happened to be the man in the dress, but really it was more of an attack on Vogue.
More recently, Owens took aim at Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg after he took paternity leave. The conservative commentator tweeted, "Privileged times have produced the weakest men that have ever lived in America."
But I think it is wrong for our society to keep perverting things.
Owens undoubtedly has strong opinions about men in today's world. As a result, many are wondering what makes the man in her life, husband George Farmer, stand out. On brand with her outspoken persona, Candace Owens' husband comes from a family with a political background. British-born George Farmer is the son of Lord Michael Farmer, a member of an elite lawmaking government body called the House of Lords. George reportedly graduated from St. Peter's College at Oxford University with a degree in theology. Like his wife, George Farmer has staunch conservative values. He's the former chairman of a right-wing group, Turning Point UK, and was recently named the CEO of Parliament.
And we don't see him at all. He's somewhere hiding or something like that. I believe, like, not even they have 2 separate bedrooms. I think he got a whole nother house. A whole nother house.
A microblogging app used almost exclusively by far-right Trump supporters. In an interview with the Financial Times, Farmer said, "My goal is to provide the platform for the disenfranchised and the voiceless who feel that the mainstream has cut them out." Owen's relationship with the fellow conservative thinker moved quickly. According to the Daily Mail, Farmer proposed to Owens after knowing her for only 2.5 weeks. After only 8 months of dating, Owens and Farmer married at the Trump Winery in Virginia over Labor Day weekend in 2019. However, the black tie affair didn't lead Trump loyalist Owens to shed her political affiliation for the evening. As reported by the Daily Mail, Owens and her husband shared a MAGA-inspired wedding cake that read, "Make weddings great again." It's clear that Owens and Farmer share.
See what all that cooning gets you. Like, why would you have? I don't care about your political affiliation. Why would that be like a thing that you would have at your wedding? Like, make weddings great again. So effing weird. But I wanted to also talk about this too. It's so crazy how this woman goes in on and she'll die on this hill about Macron, but yet this is the same woman who defends Russell Brand, who's a predator. This is the same woman who defends Harvey Weinstein, who's a predator. This is the same woman that defends the Tate brothers, who that whole situation with the 15-year-old, that's on camera. With Andrew Tate, that's on camera. Like, that's not a conspiracy. That's on camera. what he was doing to that girl when she was 15. So Candace Owens will defend people like this. And so it's hard when she's trying to talk about saving children and all these groomers and pedophiles. And it's all like, well, you're protecting them. You're protecting them. And these are the people that she's around. So whenever she gets on her high horse about anything, it's bullshit, y'all. This is her job at the end of the day. And that's the way she sees it. This is her job. She don't really care about being right or whatever makes her money, whatever gets her viewers, her people going, whoever gets them to donate. Remember, I told them liberalism, you end up broke. But right-wing Republican, you make money. Tons of money. Tons of money. Nobody wants to hear about free healthcare. They want to say, get them trans out the sports in the bathroom. Get them immigrants out of here. Close that border. They're taking the drugs. You know, that's sexy to people, and that makes you money. They don't care about all that other shit. I wanted to see if I can pull this up real quick because Candace Owens had a call with Trump about this. Not the marriage. I'm talking about the Brigitte. Okay, I think, let me see. Okay, this is a short because I don't know if I can find it in the longer episode. Let me just pull this up real quick. Here we go.
All the way back in February, and I was sworn to secrecy temporarily. And I feel that today is the correct day to inform audiences because it may have some severe global implications. So here is what happened. All right. I realize that Emmanuel Macron is in Washington, D.C., February 24th. He is in Washington, D.C., and he had departed the White House just hours before I received the call. When I call that person back, they tell me something that is even stranger. Emmanuel Macron is holding up negotiations to end the Russian and Ukrainian war unless you stop speaking about his wife. And I'm just going, what? And I get another message that's like, hey, keep your phone on. And anyways, this phone call is coming from Florida. I pick up the phone and lo and behold, so here's what happened. I'm negotiating this thing. I'm negotiating Ukraine and Russia, and you wouldn't believe how many parts are part. It is President Donald J. Trump. He is calling me, and in true President Trump fashion, he jumps right into the narrative.
Oh, it's not going to play the whole thing. Okay, let me see. Because I just don't want to go through her whole show and then try to find just that part. Let me see. Candace received a. Are they doing a reaction to this or? I just want to make sure they're not doing a reaction. Okay, this might be it right here.
I'm getting this phone call now, and obviously I ask for a little more information. I say, who specifically called you? And that friend of mine says, it's somebody that has the president's ear. This is somebody important. So I'm thinking, okay, this is advisor, Susie Wiles. I don't know.
And please hit the like button too. And by the way, are presidents supposed to call like citizens? Like, I didn't think they were allowed to do that. So that is a little weird. But again, it's Trump. He don't give a damn about the rules.
And I tell my friend, go back to that person and just say, I said no. It's free speech. This is obviously an important story to me. The implications here are pretty severe about what I've uncovered. So no deal. Hang up. I go into my husband's office and I tell him what just happened. And honestly, I'm kind of laughing at the absurdity of it because I hadn't thought beyond what may have happened. And then I do what I always do just in case. I call Noah, I call the lawyer, and I'm like, hey, I know Macron's, sending us legal letters. Just want you to add this onto the pile that somebody at the White House is asking me to just stop speaking about Brigitte Macron. Cool. We kind of have a laugh about it, run it different ways. Are we going to expect something else to be delivered to my door? Another threat, implicit threat from the Macrons, somebody calling in a favor, who knows, whatever. Anyways, we do dinner, and I am kind of feeling bad about my pregnant attitude on the phone call, because I was, 8 weeks away from birth, and I was a bit shorter on the phone than I would have been if there wasn't like a growing infant foot that's lodged under my lung. And
don't nobody care about that. Just tell the goddamn story. Shit. I'm sorry, y'all.
This person has been very good to me in the past. And so I resolved that before I go to bed, I'll phone him back and have a much more calm conversation. Not that I was rude, but just like, hey, what's this actually about? And so I did. And not only that, before I called this individual back, when I checked online, I realized that Emmanuel Macron is in Washington, D.C., February 24th. He is in Washington, D.C., and he had departed the White House just hours before I received the call. So anyways, I am in awe. A lot of thoughts are running through my mind. What could this possibly be about? And when I call that person back, they tell me something that is even stranger. They say, look, I again am the messenger here. What I was told from somebody that's pretty high up at the White House is that Emmanuel Macron is holding up negotiations to end the Russian and Ukrainian war unless you stop speaking about his wife. I'm just going, what? What are you saying? What are we even speaking about? What do you mean negotiations between Russia and Ukraine? I'm just like, looking into a story at my house. I've got a very small team here, and you're telling me that somehow negotiations are being held up and it needs to be communicated to me that I got to stop talking about Brigitte? What are we saying? And then I'm asking myself in my mind, because I hang up this phone, I am in true shock. Did Emmanuel Macron pretend to fly into DC under the guise of negotiations, the Russia and Ukraine war, and then instruct someone on his entourage to have an off the books discussion? A little meeting on the side, maybe somebody again, like a Susie Wiles, where he made his truer demands. Like, hey, this is for the pictures. Me and Trump are talking about, we're going to get it done. And then what really goes on behind the scenes is like, we're not doing anything until that little podcaster, Candace, agrees to shut her mouth. What? This is crazy. This is absolutely insane. Okay. So I say, we end the conversation. I say, I'm going to sleep on this. It's a lot to process. I remember I get into bed and I just turn to my husband and I say, no one will ever believe us. Something that just arrived at me very suddenly. I said, no one will ever believe.
Now, they don't sleep in the same bed. She probably had to call him. But anyway.
That this just took place. And my husband's like, yeah, no, this is just very, very strange. And I promised the individual that I would pray on it, that I would think further about the situation. What are the implications here? And I then call him back the next day. And I say, look, this is pretty weird. You have to admit this is pretty weird. And you're not really giving me any details. And I kind of want to know who specifically you spoke to, because I think it kind of matters. Is somebody trying to do a side deal while Trump is doing a different deal? And at that moment, he's honest and he says, no, President Trump was on the phone too. And I go, oh, are you kidding me? You didn't tell me this yesterday? That there was some sort of a conference call and President Trump is on the line? You didn't mention, I go, did you lie to me yesterday? Were you trying to pretend that it was like a third party person? And he says, no, I didn't lie to you. Like, I got a phone call, and I obviously in the background, Trump communicated something to me. So he was there when the phone call took place. And I'm going, what?
I'm trying to figure out like what, because I just got lost. So what? So basically what I got from this is that she decided to continue to still talk shit after Trump called her. She didn't really give a damn about it.
The heck is going on? Literally, what is happening right now? So I got the phone with him, and I used to say, I just need time to process what you're saying. This is so absurd. How could this become an issue that is involving the President of the United States? I'm doing a series on my podcast. And then I just kind of get into mommy mode because it's Tuesday. My daughter's got ballet. I'm at ballet with my daughter, and I get a text message from that person that says, you need to pick up the phone. Somebody from the White House is calling you. And I say, okay, it happened so quickly. I pick up the phone, and sure enough, it is somebody at the White House that is calling me. It's not Donald Trump, but it's somebody at the White House that is calling me. That's pretty high up, close proximity to Trump. I'm not going to name. And this person just, I assume, has never even watched 1 minute of my content, because, I mean, if there were a guide to how not to approach Candace Owens when you are trying to get
it's weird because like when it comes to talking points, Candace gets straight to the point, but when she's talking about herself, she's not really that interesting. Like I kind of like just even with the situation with her and her husband, I know that they only fuck to procreate and they don't actually like make love with each other, but her as a person is not really that interesting. Like I don't really care what goes on in her life, and she's talking. Just tell us what happened on the goddamn phone call. We don't care about all this other shit.
Something done. He was just following this guide. He could not have been more pompous and more arrogant on the phone. And I would like to contextualize that I'm like pretty heavily pregnant, so like my bandwidth for BS or anybody trying to like, well,
Are we having a hold on. Okay, so let me clear something up because y'all about to drive me fucking crazy, and you know I like to cuss people out. So let me tell this so you guys don't get confused or anything like that. Let's just put this shit out there. So it's not that I'm defending France or the Macrons and like I care about them. I don't give a damn about them at the end of the day. But you have somebody literally lying on purpose and they know they're lying. And now they're getting sued and they're going to get rightfully what they deserve. Like, that's my whole point. So let's be motherfucking clear on that. Besides anything else, I really don't give a damn. I'm not supporting them. I'm just putting the facts out there. So hopefully y'all don't get confused and I won't get you confused. But don't ever question me. All right, let's continue.
Was very low. And he essentially says, look, you should do it because it's the president and he's asking you to do it. What else do you want me to say? Just do it. Just stop talking about Brigitte Macron. Astounding. Reflecting on that level of arrogance because he told you to do it. It's an order, so you should do it. And all I was thinking in my mind before I flew into, a little rage was that expression, proximity to power can lead others to diluting that they wield it. You're close to power. You think you're now Trump. You're calling me, even if you were Trump, this wouldn't be the way to speak to me. And you're calling me like, that's an order from the president of the United States. So you just do it. No questions asked. Don't even think about freedom of speech. Who cares about that pesky little First Amendment?
So did she talk to Trump or she talked to somebody through Trump? Like, that's what I'm confused about because at first I thought she talked directly to Trump.
You got to just do it now. And I just basically say, look, my daughter's crying because she doesn't like when I step out of ballet, even though she can see me. She's, please, mommy, come back in. You're speaking to me inappropriately. And I just say, I don't really care I don't know who you think you're speaking to. This is not how you're going to get anything done with me. And I just hang up the phone. I'm like, this is just not a good conversation. I don't want to be part of this anymore. Goodbye. I don't like that at all. And the third party person who had initially told me about the situation is trying to calm down, and he calls behind. He's like, no, I don't know why you're spoken to like that. And like,
So real quick, and thank you for this. I'm not going to say who DM'd me, but they sent me over something because about the whole relationship thing on the Macron. So I want to read this real quick because that's another thing. I guess people are saying, oh, you support a PDF. Like, what are y'all talking about? Emmanuel Macron and Brigitte Macron's romantic relationship began when he was a student and she was his married teacher. They married in 2007, a year after she divorced her first husband. France's age of consent is 15. While their relationship began and Emmanuel was 15 and Brigitte, I don't know how to say that in French, was his teacher. Sources state that their romantic relationship developed and became a couple after he turned 18, and that their relationship remained within bounds of the law. So now, if we want to say the lady is a groomer, yes, we can say that. But what they're stating is that their relationship started when he was 18. Now, if there's anything that comes out like they was getting it on and everything like that, then yeah, we'll talk about it. Now, do I like France's age of consent at 15? No, I do not. That is very strange. But hell, we got some states here that say 16 is okay and 16 is not okay. So I just want to put that out there. So anything. So they're stating their relationship started when they was 18. Now, if you want to say he was grown and, you know, she was looking at him like a piece of meat and shit like that, then yeah, definitely. I think it's weird. Now, is it legal? Yes, it's legal according to France. Again, not here in America, but in France, that's what they have. And like I said, I don't care about their rules. I don't know what they do over there, but that's what it is. Those are the facts. Yeah, 17, the legal age in Illinois. Yeah, in Illinois. Yeah. Again, I don't like it, but that's the rules that they have over there. All right, I'm kind of done. Y'all done with this Candace video? She just going on, and it's boring the hell out of me. All right, y'all. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that to y'all, drop a couple of dimes on this, because I just thought like this was just a weird hill for Candace to go down. But again, I don't think she realized. I believe that the Macrons are going to try to come for everything. I don't think they're just going to say like, oh yeah, pay us whatever money, damages or whatever. I think they're going to try to take her channel. Put a 1 in the chat. You think they're going to try to take her channel. Put a 2 in the chat. You don't even think this might even go to trial. Yeah. Just like Alex Jones, they took his channel. He had to sell his website and everything like that. What's up, Juice? Yeah, I think the more and more that comes out, I think it's going to get to a point where she's going to have to back out and just stand down. But again, depending on how much money she's making from this, it might be worth it. Say like she only has to pay like maybe like 500,000 or something like that. Candace would look at that like that's nothing. Don't forget, she's married to the farmer family, and the dad's a lord and all this stuff. So they got money. Don't worry about them. They'll be okay. Yes, the F around and find, yep, they're in that season right now. But again, you guys, this video wasn't in defense of the Macrons. Like, I was just saying, like, this is what it is. This is the facts. This is what's out there. Whatever y'all take from it is what y'all take from it, you know? But I never want people to think I'm condoning anything or, yeah, that's crazy. The one person, the hello, it's me, got blocked because they was just talking reckless. And you know I don't like that. Usually you get cussed out. But, you know, today I'm going to be a good Christian because we got Juice in the chat. But anyway, y'all, I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for being here. We'll actually be right back because I got a dummy battery now, so I can go live for however long I want to, as long as my camera don't overheat. We out, y'all. Deuces, everybody.